Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Black Clover Episode 3. And before I even get into the review, I really want to address something that I feel has gotten way out of hand, which is people suddenly saying it's that Black Clover, only after 3 episodes, is worse than Fairy Tail. And I'm like, how? How is it worse than Fairy Tail? Like, don't get me wrong, I do get that Fairy Tail has left a deep scar on everyone's anime and manga life. I do get that. But how can you say it's honestly worse than Fairy Tail? We haven't even gotten into basically the bulk into the bulk of the story yet, and you're already proclaiming it's worse than Fairy Tail. Like, honestly, it's like, okay, there are definitely things that are definitely bad about Black Clover. I do understand that's definitely specifically with the manga, I guess. Like, or not the manga, the anime, I guess you could say. But saying it's worse than Fairy Tail seems completely unnecessary because basically, as someone who's read the manga, to be honest with you, I can definitely say this. It does, in the future, you will definitely notice from this point on a lot of things that are similar to Black Clover, but a lot of things that are similar between Black Clover and Fairy Tail. But Black Clover has absolutely none of Fairy Tail's problems. It honestly fixes, honestly, from my experience of reading Black Clover, it fixes a lot of the problems Fairy Tail had. Now, I guess if you're approaching it from basically the whole perspective that you're looking for something that's new and fresh and whatnot, then you definitely aren't. If you're approaching it from the perspective that you want something new and fresh and whatnot, you definitely aren't going together with Black Clover. I think what you really need to look at Black Clover as is sort of the better interpretation of Fairy Tail, almost, like, because going forward from this point on, judging on what I've seen from the preview, things are definitely going to be picking up from this point on, guys. So if I guess my whole recommendation for that at this point is that if you really want something to grasp onto in terms of, if you really want something to grasp onto, something you can say, okay, yes, Black Clover is good. At this point, my only recommendation to you guys is to definitely to wait it out for like until 10 or 15 episodes have been released, and then this and then watch it sequentially and decide from there if you still want to watch it. But I know people definitely don't have a lot of. I know there is a whole 5 episode rule that people follow in the anime and manga world, so just, I don't know. It's all up to you guys, but like I said, don't. I wouldn't go around saying it's Fairy Tail bad, guys. It's definitely worse. Fairy Tail is its own special kind of bad, guys. So don't go around saying it's Fairy Tail. Definitely don't, because Fairy Tail is still the worst shonen manga out there. I'm just gonna say that Fairy Tail is still worse. But yeah, look, now that I've gotten into now that I'm done with this whole rant, let's get into the actual review. I'm sorry that took longer than I wanted to, but yeah, guys. But okay, so now having said that, there are definitely some problematic things with this particular episode 3, which is the pacing and which is definitely the pacing and I think is the major issue, and pacing is the major issue. Like, with pacing wise, unlike the last episode, which I feel was using the filler in a decent way, but by expanding on Yuno and Asta's backstory, because in the manga that backstory was only like a page long, pretty much, or something. So they definitely did good on that and expanding the backstory. But here, the filler was just used in dragging its feet. To be honest with you, like, I do feel that there was a lot in this episode that definitely could have definitely could have definitely probably been cut, to be honest with you. But yeah, but good news is that judging from the preview, we are getting into the nitty gritty of the series, thankfully. But yeah, pacing wise, it was definitely a lot slower, and there are definitely a few things I think could have definitely been cut in order to make room for more important things, definitely for sure. So yeah, there's that problem. Um, Another problem is Asta's voice. Now, this has been a kind of a continuing trend lately that people have been saying that Asta's voice is annoying. And in the first couple episodes, I didn't in the beginning I didn't mind it as much, but like in the first episode I didn't mind it as much, but as we've definitely progressed, I can kind of see after just but 2 episodes in, I can definitely kind of but 3 episodes in, I can definitely see what people are talking about. Like Asta's the guy that got to voice Asta is kind of yeah, he definitely does kind of. I think he almost. It's one of those times where I think the Japanese voice actor is overdoing it. To be honest with you, so I think he could kind of tone it down just a bit. To be honest with you, and honestly, like if this does continue as a continuing trend, then this could be definitely one of the saving graces of the dub. I think because as you know, Funimation is in the process of working on a Black Clover dub, and in that case, in Black Clover dub for I think one of their simulcasts or something. So in that case, it could be one of the things that the dub actually does better than basically the subversion is that they could very well pick they could very well pick someone who could actually be not as overly loud as Asta. Pretty much, I never watched the sub to Fairy Tale, so I can't say for sure on this one, but it could be very well the same situation with Todd Haberkorn as Natsu. Like as bad as Fairy Tale was, we can definitely say that Todd Haberkorn did definitely do a good job as Natsu for sure. So maybe it could be one of those situations that more than likely, yeah. Um, Also, yeah. Other than that, other than that, we also going back to what I was saying about how it is kind of taking a lot of Fairy Tale's core concepts, how Black Clover is taking a lot of Fairy Tale's core concepts and applying them here in their own way. This episode did introduce a very interesting kind of interpretation of that in the form of the order of the Magic Knights, which was introduced through some exposition in this episode about how the magic how the Wizard King commands. I think it was 12 orders of magical knights or something. I I forget. I'd have to go back and read the manga on that one. But yeah, he commands these orders of magical knights, and immediately I know people are going to probably compare them to, say, let's say, are probably going to compare them to are going to compare them to to the to the ninja squads in Naruto. But the one thing that we need to remember here is that it wasn't specifically said how it wasn't specifically said how it wasn't specifically said how many people are allowed in the order of magical knights compared to the ninja squads where there was a specific amount of people who were where there's a specific amount of people where there's a specific number of people you did need in a ninja squad, which was I think 4 people in a ninja squad. But here we don't know how many people are allowed in the order of magical knights. Like it could be an endless number in the same thing as the magic guild and fairy tale. So in a way it's kind of playing with both of those elements in a way. Like the setup does seem very Naruto-esque, but I think it is playing more into the fairy tale guild kind of in the fairy tale guilds aspect of magic guilds and whatnot. So yeah, that like I'm pretty sure like any with considering their orders, I think you could allow any number of knights in as long as they're skilled with magic and whatnot. So actually, but that does make me wonder how which order S is gonna which order like we've seen the intro where Asta has that black bowl or has that cloak on and whatnot. I wonder which order that belongs to. I think order that belongs to, but yeah. Um, but yeah, keep an eye on that order, guys. Um, also, also, one other little thing to mention in that little backstory. In that little backstory of exposition we got in the very beginning of the episode, basically, see, I think it was the first Magic King who was fighting a demon, and when he brought out his like magic swords, I was like, okay, we got some Yu-Gi-Oh, we got some Yu-Gi-Oh going on here, because I swear that those magic swords looked pretty much identical to pretty much the whole swords of revealing light thing. So yeah, it was kind of funny in that sense. So it wasn't but yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I have for this review. Like I said, and judging from, like I said, we're only 3 episodes in, guys. So I try and keep as open a mind as you can from this point on, because from what I've seen from next episode, it seems that things are. I think from next episode on, I think things are finally going to be picking up. And keep this in your mind, guys. We do have 51 episodes, so we do have 51 episodes in total for this first season. So I guess just go ahead and take that and take that particular news however you want, good or bad, and just go from there. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. That Night of MMA, signing off. Later, guys.